I have been looking forward to reviewing this set with you since we first started our Onslaught coverage. This is the Red Wizards expansion for Onslaught, and many thanks to WizKids for sending it our way. So I'm a sucker for caster minis, as they're often very creative, and 5 out of 6 of these have really cool spell effects on them. Also, having a Red Wizards of Thay warband, which is essentially what this is, can facilitate some really fun adventures in your regular D&D games. D&D Beyond posted an article about using the Red Wizards in your game, and I'm going to link that article down below. You should check it out. If you're not familiar with the Red Wizards, they are the nefarious magocratic ruling class of the country of Thay. They generally work as slavers, necromancers, demonologists, arcane experimenters, and customer support agents for Comcast. If you watch the D&D movie, the main villain of the film, Sophina, was a Red Wizard. Now, the minis we're reviewing today don't really look like your typical Red Wizard mini, typical Red Wizard, which looks a little bit like this over here. And as far as I can tell, we really only had one official Red Wizard mini in the entire Icons of the Realms line, which is this human Red Wizard mini, which was an uncommon number 19 from the Tyranny of Dragons set. We've had a scattering of named NPCs who were technically Red Wizards, but they didn't look at all like Red Wizards, your typical ones anyway. The only other kind of Red Wizardy mini that we've had is this unpainted male elf wizard from the Nolzur's line, and you could paint it up like this, and he will look like a Red Wizard. Now, the minis I'm going to show you today also don't really look like typical Red Wizards either, but they do have the Red Wizard coloring, and they look like a good supporting posse for your main Red Wizard of Thay to keep things kind of interesting. So I'll show you what I mean. Also, in case you've been skipping our ads lately, naughty, we are creating some brand new free spells for you that you can download for your 5e game, so you may want to stick around after this little musical interlude introducing our Red Wizard expansion pack for D&D Onslaught. Yes, we are creating brand new spells for your 5e games. You can certainly use them on their own, but they are designed to be used with the cards in the Animated Spellcraft deck Volume 1 from Hit Point Press. Each card features unique animations on one side that we're using as inspiration for our spells, and the back is blank. You can write your own spells, or you can use ours by printing out the card from our website and then sleeving it with the corresponding card from the deck. Today we have the Globes of Hovering. Perhaps you need a lift to the top of the wall. Maybe you need a glowing distraction, a safe descent from the top of a tree, a way across a vat of acid, or just a captivating decorative display to complement a performance by your friendly neighborhood bard. You can download this spell right now from our website. The link is in the corner of your screen, down in the doohickey below, or you can just visit gallantgoblin.com, and you can pick up the Animated Spellcraft Volume 1 deck and the other animated spell decks at the link in the corner right now, or at animatedspells.com. Let's start with the so-called iconic Red Wizard, Quellabrelten Amasnodel, the human necromancer wizard healer. Interesting combination. While he serves a healer role, he's really a summoner, proactively preventing damage to his party by throwing up a skeleton shield in front of them. These minions use the included tokens or minis that you bring yourself, maybe from the skeleton warband. They can't help you with control points, but they can serve as meat shields, or well, I guess bone shields, and roadblocks. You can use your level up cards to boost your skeleton's offense or defense. You may also note that this character shares a last name with the Harper bard Chloe from the main set. We all love a little family intrigue. Next up we have Elak Uldanin, a human grave cleric vanguard who is also a summoner. Aside from being a pretty formidable tank and a self-healer, Elak can also summon forth skeleton servants to shield his allies. Now, when you look at his and Quell's level up cards, they buff, quote, friendly skeletons no matter who creates them, giving you some really good synergies if you have them on the same team. If you can level up both of them in a scenario, you'll have some pretty strong skeletons on the field, which could be a quite powerful tool in this game. Who doesn't want a mini of a Dragonborn Fiend Warlock? This is Farilun of Scardale, a specialist in ranged damage armed with a very hard-hitting basic ranged attack, at least hard-hitting for this game, doing 3 damage. And she's ready with a counterspell, which is pretty fun. Oh, and she has a fireball. She's a bit squishy, but her Armor of Shadows will beef up her AC quite a bit. The face on this mini seems a little bit squat to me, but maybe that's just a little sexual dimorphism at work. This is Lament, the Shadow Sorcerer melee damage dealing Tiefling. Now, the red wizards on the whole are pretty squishy, as you might expect. You need to have those skeletons around to soak up some damage, but Lament in particular is quite a vulnerable person to have on the front lines. All her main stats are low, but if you can hit with her Shocking Grasp ability and then get out of dodge, she can continue to bring the pain every couple of turns. And she can also summon. Not a Skelly, but a Hound of Ill Omen, as you can see on her mini. And Lament can move through walls and obstructions using her Umbral Form level up card. Next up, we have a proper Duergar Red Wizard character, Basra Ashlord, the Reach Fighter Tactician. She will be the one protecting your squishy casters, probably assisted by some helpful skellies. Not only can she use her bonus action to take an extra swing, but her passive ability allows her to take a swing as a bonus action if someone moves toward her or away from her. All that, and she has some self-healing with her second wind ability. You can also take the classic Sentinel or Power Attack bonus cards when you level up. And this is just a wickedly good Duergar mini. Finally, we have a Svirfneblin Arcane Trickster Rogue who fills the hybrid slot in the group. I think what I love most about these minis is that they're not only using a lot of minor playable races, but they're also making these hyper-specific minis. The Sinister Grin, those eyebrows, the Threatening Dagger, the Mage Hand stealing a bag of coin. This really couldn't be anything other than a Svirfneblin Arcane Trickster Rogue. And for our D&D games, I think it's often fun to base a character off of a fun mini rather than finding just the perfect mini for your particular character concept. And this would be such a fun character to play. In Onslaught, Zook here can indeed pilfer loot from the enemy, and they can also steal abilities from enemy casters. This one is a little situational, I think, but could be a lot of fun in your games. As a whole, the Red Wizards serve as summoners and powerful ranged blasters, but you will have to play them smartly in order to keep them alive, so this is a faction that might not be terribly beginner friendly. And as minis for our D&D games, I think this is a super fun set. The paint jobs aren't quite up there with like the premium minis, but they're definitely a very unique set of characters with some very creative sculpts. It just feels to me like a lot of thought and love went into their creation, and I am very eager to hear what you think about them down below. For comparison, you can see here the Red Wizards next to the Harpers from the main set. In the next week or so, I'm going to show you the first Red Wizard expansion pack with 4 minis, which includes a mini for one of the rarest playable races out there. I will hop into that review soon. The Red Wizards expansion for Onslaught is available now for between $55 and $60. If you're looking at just the minis and disregarding all the Onslaught cards and player boards and everything else, it comes out to about $9 to $10 a mini, which is on par for these Onslaught expansions. So let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Also, remember to download your free spells over at gallantgoblin.com, and be sure to pick up some animated spell cards, including their Spellcraft deck to pair with our spells at animatedspells.com, or use the links down below. Be sure you're subscribed here to see our upcoming reviews, and hitting that like button down there helps other people find us. Now, I am going to start getting ready for my first game of Blood on the Clock Tower, which we're going to be playing here next week in the house. If you've played it before, shoot me your tips in the comment section down below. I am really eager to hear if you've had some experiences in the game too. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.